Hi everyone, and welcome to a new episode of my Sims 4 series, The Good and the Evil. I might need a new title, but whatever. In the previous episode, I introduced this family and the inspiration for the story, so here's a link for that somewhere on the screen, but you'll also find it at the end of this video. So a quick recap, we found out that Paula is cheating on her fiancé Carlos Daniel with his brother Rodrigo. And Carlos Daniel and Paulina are also falling in love, but they are not having an affair. Although at the end, Carlos Daniel told Paulina he's got feelings for her, and Paula actually heard it, so that's where we are joining in today. So this is the moment where Paula called Carlos Daniel and Paulina out on what happened, and they try to explain that there is nothing to worry about, but she's furious anyway, and just calling Paulina out on what happened, just telling her off, telling her that, I gave you a home and you are trying to steal my husband, what is wrong with you? Yeah, but let's see what Paula is doing in her free time. Well, after this little scene, Paula decided to meet Rodrigo outside in the garden where it's very risky, they could just get caught anytime. And they just try to, steal some kisses and, spend some time together, but Rodrigo went a bit too far. As you can see, Paula is just like, nah, dude. Like, we need to focus on what's going on here. We are trying to steal all the money from your brother, and you need to stay focused. You can't be just messing around. She's talking, obviously. And then she goes, you know what? Whatever. No one is watching anyway. There we go. Ah. Yeah, and that's it. They just leave, just like that. Nothing happened 2 seconds ago. So one thing that's worth knowing about Paula is that I mentioned already, she's very evil, and when she doesn't get her way, she just turns into this child and just throws temper tantrums. Yeah, just like that. So right after her tantrum, she went over to one of the living rooms to just pick on people, and she decided to get into an argument with Emiliana, Carlos Daniels and Rodrigo's mom, who also, she's the one technically owning the place and everything the family has. So Paula just called her out on her parenting skills and how much of an awful son he raised, that he would look at another woman when he's about to marry Paula. And Emiliana was just like, look, maybe you shouldn't be such an awful person, and then my son would spend more time with you and not trying to find someone else who's much better than you. That made Paula very, very, very furious. And then she was like, ugh, never mind. And then they decided to risk it again. They could have easily got caught. Just after this, Paula went upstairs to keep arguing with Carlos Daniel, but he called out Paula for being so awful to everyone, including his own mother, and tried to assure Paula that there was nothing going on between him and Paulina. Because of Paula's behavior, Carlos Daniel expressed his doubts on their upcoming marriage. Then the argument just kept going on, and essentially Carlos Daniel ended up apologizing to Paula, so this whole situation would finally end. Not much later, Paulina wanted to check up on Carlos Daniel, how he was doing, and they just seem to be meant for each other, and they shared a little moment, and I didn't plan that to happen, but Paula walked in on them, so that happened. Since Emiliana loves Paulina, she tries to spend some time with her, and when they went out for a coffee, she told Paulina that she thinks that Paula is a terrible person and very bad for her son, and she wants Paulina to be with Carlos Daniel because they are just meant for each other, and if Paula marries Carlos Daniel, they are going to lose everything because she's going to take everything from them. And Paulina says that she loves Carlos Daniel, but she also loves her sister, and she would never do that to her. They're just besties, look at them. Although Carlos Daniel and Paula's daughter, Lolita, doesn't really get a lot of attention, but she is here and she doesn't really get a lot of attention from her mother either. So here's Paulina putting her to bed. They have a very close relationship. Lolita loves Paulina and Paulina loves Lolita. Lolita almost sees Paulina as her mother, so when she has a bad dream during the night, she would go to Paulina's room. And she wakes her up and seeks comfort from her instead of doing that with her own mother. Yeah, they love each other. So for some reason, everybody loves to come into Paulina's room during the night and wake her up, but this is Carlos Daniel, who just can't sleep anymore, knowing that he loves Paulina and he wants to be with her. So he just comes in and takes action finally and tells Paulina that he loves her and he wants to leave Paula. And finally, they have their first kiss, and we're going to see in the next episode how this is going to turn out, what Paula is going to do when she figures out that her almost marriage is over.
For no!